What's up, homies? Welcome back to another reaction from Heroes Reforged. We're here to do the reaction for Loki, the official trailer. If you guys are interested, you can check out our Patreon, patreon.com/heroesreforged. Link down in the description. Uncut reactions to almost everything. Falcon and Winter Soldier, Superman and Lois, so much stuff. Check it out. We're gonna have some fun new stuff on the way as well. I'm very stoked for this trailer. People seem to be very excited. It's Loki. Who's not excited for Loki? God of Mischief, Tom Hiddleston. He's great. Come on. Right?
Agreed.
Excuse me, sorry.
Okay. Hector agrees, I guess.
I was going to say that trailer came out early this morning, and we've been doing stuff all day, and now we are reacting to it in the evening. I don't want to say stuff has been spoiled for me on the internet, but a few people did tweet out and or tag us with something to the effect of like, oh, you guys said that this show is going to define the rules of time travel in the MCU, because that kind of is still sort of up for debate as of right now. And they said like, you guys were right, or like looking forward to your reaction or whatever. So
I'm glad I've been spackling and sanding ceilings all day.
Yeah.
I missed all of that.
I've been off Twitter most of the day, so I'm coming in fresh.
All right, you guys ready to do this?
I'm ready to do this.
Yeah, baby.
All right, on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
I know what this place is. The timekeepers have built quite the circus. And I see the clowns are playing their parts to perfection. Big metaphor guy. I love it. Makes you sound super smart. I am smart.
Love it.
I know. Okay.
Please sign to verify this is everything you've ever said.
This is absurd.
What?
Sign this too.
what the hell?
We protect the proper flow of time.
You picked up the Tesseract, breaking reality.
I want you to help us fix it.
Okay.
I need your unique Loki perspective.
Do I get a weapon?
Nah.
What?
Rock's cart.
Believe in this Loki variant?
Luckily, he believes in himself enough for the both of us.
Why? It is adorable that you think you could possibly manipulate me. I'm 10 steps ahead of you.
You're not big on trust, are you?
You can trust me.
Loki, I've studied almost every moment of your entire life. You've literally stabbed people in the back like 50 times.
Never do it again.
Son of a bitch.
That's great.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's a good birthday present for me. Papa like.
You guys tell me if I'm far off. You tell me if I'm far off. But I think that Loki so far is going to be the most visually stunning Disney Plus MCU show.
It definitely has the potential because WandaVision, you know, is very much set within the construct of somebody's mind. But Loki is like, it is the universe.
Universe
is
expanding.
Yeah.
What WandaVision was genre breaking. It was using the sitcom format. So that's how visually it was so different and striking and cool and unique and original. It was original in its unoriginality because it was copying the sitcom style. And Falcon and Winter Soldier has gone back to like, this is a straightforward,
grounded
espionage.
Grounded.
It's pushing the envelope in Falcon and Winter Soldier is like the story content is like the talking about race and those kinds of issues. But this feels the most like they're going to get freaky deaky with it. Watching it right here and in silence. And I love the juxtaposition of like Loki, all that space cosmic stuff. Yeah. And then the fact that the Time Variance Authority is just a very boring clinical office like scientist.
You would think it's something very exciting and it's not.
Well, how else are you going to keep track of all those different timelines?
Right.
You got to be super organized.
And I like the fact that it's leaning into the whole concept that's set up in Endgame of like, you change one timeline, it creates a splintering timeline, and all these things change because it makes sense. You know, it makes sense. I'm actually kind of like happy that they went that route as opposed to going in the more commonly known Back to the Future Terminator route, where if you change the past, it affects the future. It's like, well, if you change that present, it changes that future. Which I think is exciting and it's unique and it's different. And I'm excited to see where that adventure that takes Loki on. Because I think very easily, you know, you can watch the trailer and it gives you little hints here and there, but it doesn't really show you a ton, which I'm totally fine with. But it gives you great hints that we're going to be potentially affecting a lot of different realities, which I think will be really fun.
I'm really curious as to how this is going to tie into the next phase going forward. Because we've now gone WandaVision, which kind of broke our minds where we thought it was multidimensional, but not necessarily, but kind of is. And now we're going into this one, which, I mean, technically time travel could be considered multidimensional. There's different variants from different times and different places. They said this Loki variant, which is one thing that stuck out to me, meaning that there's other Loki variants that they've probably tried this out with and didn't work. And then we're going to go into Multiverse of Madness. There's so much stuff with so many different converging timelines, peoples, and characters that, like, I think this is going to kind of set up on the right path to where Multiverse of Madness really does make sense.
Yeah.
Like, so where it's not like a out of this world concept to where you, when you get to that movie, you're not completely in the blue as to what kind of universe and what kind of rules they're set up for the, for Marvel and for the future, basically. I think it's great. I think they've done a really good job of keeping it engaging.
Agree 100%, Augustine. And then just to piggyback off of what you're saying, who's the bad guy going to be in Ant-Man 3? It's Kang, baby.
Kang the Conqueror,
who conquers different time eras and time periods. And this show could also help to set up explanations for that film. This show could even give us Jonathan Majors as Kang or Nathaniel Richards or whatever, like first appearance. Like this show could establish those rules so that when we get to Kang, it's less about relearning those rules, but more about like, okay, and now here's how he's a threat in this movie, or here's how going forward he'll be a threat in the MCU. I don't think that Kang is going to be the next Thanos, sort of like, you know, multiple movie. Everything ties into his story arc and he's the big threat and the villain that could disrupt everything. But I think that Kang is almost going to be like a rest stop as we're on the way to figuring out whatever the next. Because honestly, the only way you can top something like Thanos to me is something like Galactus. You know what I mean? That level of like, or like Annihilus from the negative zone, punching through and invading, and all of a sudden it's annihilation or some crazy thing. But Kang is this is such a great comic book villain and such a great threat that if they're able to do it correctly, it could be as impactful as what Thanos did, where he wiped out half of humanity. And now my question is, how did the Time Variance Authority allow the Avengers to do what they did? I'm hoping they address it in the show. And I was just thinking as you guys were talking, and I'm rewatching the trailer again silently, that the TVA could be like, well, we let the Avengers do what they did because they brought back all of these people. And even though they created branching realities, they put the stones back so that those realities are effectively the same, or they were supposed to do what they did because of these reasons. And maybe it can finally also define, did old man Steve Rogers go and stay in another universe, or did he stay in the prime,
live out the rest of his life,
616 timeline, or the MCU, which has a numerical designation, which is like 9300000, whatever crazy number it is, but the MCU, because if he did stay, where did he get that shield? He must have gone to another dimension. Can we see him? Can I see him and his happy ending? Him and Peggy, you know, just a quick, brief cameo.
Be careful how you word that.
Just be careful. Just be careful.
The happy
keep it PG. Keep it PG.
Deserves. Wouldn't it be great if they cut to the Steve reality and like Chris Evans is just boning? Like it's just like Steve Rogers finally having sex,
just like a hot love scene.
And we're like, oh, you know what? We didn't need to see good old Steve. We didn't need that. We didn't need that.
And all you see is America's ass. That's all you see.
Yeah, America's ass. That's right.
America's bare ass.
And we salute it.
We salute the shit out of it. And then,
God bless you too.
I love you, Cap. And then you leave.
Steve and Peggy, get it. Get it, Steve and Peggy. And then you just hear him go, I can do this. You just hear him go, I can do this all day. You go, all right, change it. Get out of here. Get out. leave this reality. He got a happy ending after
Call
all.
Loki. We need to get out of here.
Him and Peggy. But boy, oh boy, this show looks so fun.
Yeah.
And what a great showcase for it. The same way that WandaVision was this great gift for Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany to be like, you guys were side characters. Why don't you come and play and show off what you can do and really get into it? Falcon and Winter Soldier is a great showcase for Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. And the same thing here, because Hiddleston is he's one of the OGs of the MCU. He's been there since almost the beginning, and he's helped build so much of it. And he has always been a secondary character. So this show could give us the ultimate Loki story, and it could end with Teen Loki, Lady Loki. You know, it could tie back into Thor, Love and Thunder, President Loki, like, and it could just be
this also in some like in a weird way could maybe be a send off for the Tom Hiddleston Loki. Like you're saying, we might meet different versions of Loki, and maybe Lady Loki, because there was like a moment where you see two characters sitting on a rock and talking and discussing. It's very possible that there could be a moment for Loki at the end of this run, at the end of this show, where he decides like, I'm gonna go live out my own life somewhere else, and then maybe like Lady Loki takes his like place in a different universe or whatever the case may be, you know?
Or he either gets his mind erased or purposefully doesn't, but goes back to 2012, goes back to letting his brother take him up to Asgard and just lets everything play out the way it's supposed to, because almost like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day gets this sense of awareness of, you know what, I should be a good person because that's the better way to live life. You know, when you learn so much and become almost omnipotent, there are some versions of that story where you just become a better person because you're like, it's the best way to go. And even though our Loki died in Avengers Infinity War at the beginning of that film with Thor Love and Thunder, Asgardians and their cycle of death and rebirth, you never know what could happen. But I think you're right, Adam. This could still be a send-off for Tom Hiddleston, and maybe a future Loki will be they'll go get a kid actor to be Teen Loki, which I think would be beautiful way to refresh that character, to give another kid actor an opportunity. There's just, the sky's the limit with this guy, man. And I love Tom Hiddleston. It's awesome to see him in this trailer.
See, I'm not a giant fan of Loki. I love Tom Hiddleston. I'm just not a giant fan of Loki. But this looks so interesting and cool that I think this might make me a hardcore fan of Loki. And now the logo makes sense. The logo changing fonts and sizes and stuff. Based on time, based on different dimensions, based on different variants, which is that's the keyword that just kept sticking out to me.
June 11th. So we'll be at that point. We'll have finished everything that we're working on now, and we'll be one more month away from Black Widow. And then the movie season for the MCU will finally begin.
Man, wild. It's been a long time.
I know. It'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. But guys, let us know in the comments your thoughts about the show Loki. Where do you think it'll go? Do you think it'll be a send-off for Tom Hiddleston? Who are some other characters that you maybe would like to see? Maybe new characters, old characters, in different variants? That could be fun as well. Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we will catch you in the next reaction.